The crisis passes, the hard decisions ease, life finally goes quiet, and instead of relief, you feel restless. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Lunch and Learn. My name is Michelle Scher. Over the past few weeks, we've looked at the tiredness of not knowing, the lag between deciding and the body catching up, and who you are when a defining role ends. And today, that part that comes after all of it. What has to settle before you can build anything new? We're taught to admire momentum, right? We celebrate reinvention, the next chapter, the people who move quickly from one phase into the next. We spend far less time on what happens in between. That period after something significant has ended, before anything new has taken shape. So it could be the end of a career, a health challenge, caregiving, or military service, or simply a version of yourself that no longer fits. Most people find that space uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, not because they're doing anything wrong, but because uncertainty creates a tension, and we want relief from that tension. One way we reach for relief is through action. We make plans, we set goals, and from the outside, it looks productive. Sometimes it is, but sometimes the rush to rebuild is really an attempt to escape the discomfort of the in-between. I've watched this in health, in leadership, in military veterans leaving service, in women navigating big life changes. Heck, me too. The pattern is the same. The external change happens, but the internal system hasn't caught up. And that makes sense. We adapt to our conditions over years. The nervous system, the habits, the sense of identity, those adaptations don't vanish the moment circumstances change, which is why stability can feel strange. We imagine that steadiness should feel comforting straight away, yet so many feel restless the moment that life becomes calm, wondering, I'm sure I should be doing more. So planning more, building more. But what if that quiet stretch is doing something really important? What if the absence of constant change is exactly what lets a system find its footing? I've come to think of it as finding the flaw, not a method, just an observation. Before you build something new, you need to know what feels stable beneath you, underneath you. What's reliable? What remains when the transition stops consuming your attention? Fill every space with new demands, and you may never find that flaw, that foundation. You move from one adaptation straight into the next, but give it a period of steadiness and something shifts. Patterns get clearer. You can see your real capacity and the questions get better. You stop asking, what should I do next? And start asking questions like, what's genuinely ready to come from this? What's ready to emerge from here? Because we underestimate the cost of rebuilding on unstable ground. A new goal cannot create stability on its own. The foundation has to come first. Not because stability is the destination, but because it makes the next destination possible. So here's the reframe that I'm going to leave you with today. A season that looks quiet is not evidence that nothing is happening. It may be where the most important work is occurring. The work of becoming steady enough to know what deserves to be built next. Thank you for joining me. I'd love to hear what you've noticed about those periods in your life between chapters. I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful afternoon.